Hey, welcome match number 4 of the WCBTour Finals.
This match, we have our number 8 qualifier, Mark Johnstone from Edmonton, Alberta, taking on our number 9 qualifier, Parker Anderson from Calgary.
Yeah, both their first times here at the Tour Finals. I know Johnny, as the vice president at WCBT, this is something that he's been looking forward to the whole time, so expect him to come out hot.
That's right. Johnny definitely has some experience. He's played on the TSNs before. Both of them have come so far in their games in the last couple years. It's no surprise that we're seeing them here in the top 12.
Yeah, Parker coming off a big Regina Classic Championship, so he's going to be wanting it just as much as anybody else. So we're expecting lots of good strikes here.
Can't wait to see how this match goes.
All right, here we go. Match number 4, the 2024 WCB Tour Championships.
Our number 8 qualifier, Mark Johnstone from Edmonton, Alberta, is taking on Calgary's Parker Anderson, number 9 qualifier. So Johnny, with that slight edge in the standings, he got to choose who goes first, and he put Parker up on the lane. And Parker throws a bomb.
Yeah, we got a pins game style format here. Each frame is worth a point, so with Parker throwing that strike, that means that Mark Johnstone also has to throw a strike to carry it over, or else he loses that point. And the $50 bonus every frame.
I was going to say, this is our last match in the first round, so these frames are the last ones that are going to be worth $50 before we jump up in our prize money.
And these guys playing for a spot in the next round.
Both of them here in their first ever Tour Finals appearance.
Yeah. People don't know, Mark Johnstone is probably one of the best players back in the past, and he's found a resurgence in his game, put a lot of effort into finding it, and battled some injuries and making his first Tour Finals ever. He is looking to pull back on his TSN days.
That's right. He had a great season this year, playing all 5 of the WCBT events and qualifying for all 5 of them. His top run was the 3rd place finish at the TPC this year. Regina, he averaged 284 to qualify. He also had an 11th place finish at Heritage, so ran fairly deep on Sunday.
Yeah, he was extremely happy with the season, and obviously very stoked to be a part of this Tour Finals. So
Parker's season a little bit different. He only played 4 of the events, and he only qualified in one of them, but that one, the Regina Classic, he ran it all the way for a first place finish, and that's what got him into the number 9 spot.
yeah, he took down the title. He had a weird up and down season, but yeah, you take one title home and you get to come to the Tour Finals.
Yeah. He qualified 8 at Regina, averaging 293.
Yeah.
And then was able to keep that momentum rolling.
Regina, notoriously the highest scoring house in Canada for Tour, so the cut line is there fairly high.
No wonder Goldenmile is one of his favorite centers.
Yeah, that would probably stack up, yep. Parker, so Parker has to get more than 15 here to take the carryover and go up to nothing. Ooh.
And he punches. Oh.
Big
Gets
chop off.
himself into a chop position with that bounce back. So a spare here is going to give him the carryover. If he cleans it up like Johnny did, it'll be a 3-frame carryover, or 2-frame carryover.
Yeah.
And frame 3 will be worth 3.
So we've noticed that on lane 13, our first 4 matches, there's been a couple kickbacks on that right side. So I'm not sure if players are taking account for that.
And he spares it, gets the first 2 frames and his first $100 of the event.
Yeah. Something to make note if you're playing another match today. Lane 13 on that right side, good chance you're going to get a kickback out of there. So
Parker, his adult career, 2024 Calgary Zone Open champion and 2024 Regina Classic champion. He had a really great season last year, but definitely has been around for a long time with multiple YBC national appearances. He also had a 2018 Open Mixed bronze medal.
right corner. Yeah, Parker's fairly young to the tour by, I guess, average standards. Probably the median age on tour is a little bit higher than his age, so on the younger side, but obviously has had some pretty good accolades already.
And gets that spare easy.
Yeah, forcing Johnny to get a strike to get on the board here. So Mark Johnstone, or Johnny as everybody calls him, he has a storied career already. People know him. He's 3-time national team medalist, or gold medalist, 2-time national gold medalist, 3-time Edmonton Open champion, has won TSNs. He is a TPC champion from 2011 as well, so great shot.
Throws a big strike in 3 to win that point. Keeps the match close at 2-1. Just a reminder, if it does go down to a 5-5 split, it will come down to total pinfall. So every pin here matters, trying to keep that total close just in case there's a split of frames. I know Johnny has spent quite a bit of time in Sherwood Bowl in the last couple weeks, throwing some practice games, doing some reps in the summer off season.
Putting some time in. That's what it takes at this level to get back.
A little bit of a stumble at the line, but right on target, throws the strike.
Yeah, at this level of competition, if you're not putting in the practice time and kind of relying on talent, you'll have those big waves of up and downs, and it's hard to stay consistent. So, like Mr. Mark Johnstone this year was qualified in all 5, and he's putting in the time. So Parker looking here to match him and carry this frame over. All right, tied 2-2, $100 each.
That's right.
Parker has a high game. He has a perfect game on his resume.
Perfect game, 1031 triple, 1600 for 5, and 2380 for 8. Really impressive numbers. Misses the spare there, but frame's already over.
Yeah.
Time to take a breath and move on to the next one.
That chopped cherry always shows up.
He'll be looking to take control in frame 5, but he throws first.
Looks like Parker's throwing those purple Vipers.
Taking a little bit of an extra second, just could see him telling himself, follow through, stay with it. He's putting the ball where it needs to go, but just not quite the rotation to get the strike. And that looked like a great ball.
Drop. All right. So Johnny has to throw the strike to carry this frame over. Mark obviously with the double.
Mark has his own 450s twice for a high game.
Yeah, they were like a month apart.
He also holds a couple Alberta records, an 824 double and a 1511 for a high 4. Throws the strike to force the carryover in frame 5.
These carryovers, if they get pretty big, they decide everything.
Yeah. Turns into who's going to make the first misstep.
Mark has the pinfall advantage. Obviously, he's still working on strikes. If it comes down to that 5-5 tie, you want to make sure you have the cushion.
Oh, just misses to the left. timing looked a little bit off on that ball.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not his normal follow-through.
That was the lane that he got a little bit stumbly on last time. I wonder if that maybe was in the back of his mind a little bit of trying to stay behind the line.
And manage that approach.
That's
a skinny spare.
All right. So a spare here will carry over for a second time. A strike will win that carryover, putting Parker up 4 frames to 2. Yep. Parker did win the last carryover frame.
Yeah, like you said, Parker's been very accurate, hasn't missed.
Neither one of these bowlers are playing like it's their first time at Tour Championships.
Yeah.
They're playing like they've been under these lights and cameras many times in their careers. Throwing great balls on the middle. Both those pins wiggled, and neither one of them fell down. This is going to be a big spare.
For all those viewers that don't know 5-pin bowling, there are string machines, so sometimes the strings do get a little loosey-goosey and they can pull other pins down. Prime example of that, those pins wiggling. Nothing was close to them.
No. And he cherries the 3-pin, so Johnny's going to win that set of carryover, and he's going to go up 4 frames to 2 on Parker.
Yep.
Still 4 frames to go.
Yeah, it's a race to 5.5, so obviously still lots of time for Parker to claw back into this match and get it close. But yeah, Johnstone with the advantage at 4 frames to 2. So $200 in Mr. Johnstone's pocket and $100 in Parker Emerson's pocket. So Parker obviously has a very straightforward approach here. Just quick 3 steps, straight hands. Not too much going on in his approach.
And gets absolutely roasted.
Yeah.
You can see a little bit of frustration knowing that we're running out of frames here, so every frame counts. And when you get a great ball out on the lane like that and just don't get the push, the frustration can take over sometimes.
Yeah, when you're not being rewarded with the pins, that's for sure. Only one way. You become their friends or you beat them into submission.
He gets the spare. So a strike here will win another frame for Johnny and give him that 5 frames so that at least it will go to pinfall.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously Mark with the pinfall advantage right now, he's happy to get it to the 5 frames and then at least has the banking on the pinfall, yeah. But obviously, he wants the money too.
Of course.
As much as he can get here. Okay, so he's had a couple miscues to the left here. So we were just talking about Parker's straight approach, his quick 3-step. Johnny has a little bit different of an approach. Slow at the start and then powerful at the end. Hard time staying on his feet sometimes. It's a little quick.
With Johnny, if the timing gets a little off, he does tend to push it to that left-hand side. That one looked a little bit smoother, but just too accurate. So Parker is going to take that frame, and now it's a 4-3.
I think that's a bit of the trade-off, right? Johnstone's a little bit wild with his approach, but has so much roll in the ball. So when he hits the pocket, like
it's an explosion.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The pins have a hard time fighting it, but if you're a little bit off, it can get to you. So, but with that being said, he still has the advantage. Still up 4 frames.
And still up in pinfall.
Yeah, let's forget about that frame and move on. I'm sure he's got a great mindset for that. And Parker's looking like, hey, I'm 1 step closer. I'm right in there.
Yeah. As a player, when you're looking at the scoreboard and you're up 4-3 with 3 frames to go, knowing you really only have to win 1 of those frames if you're up in pinfall, it's a nice feeling to have because you do have a couple backup chances.
Yeah. We got Rosa on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came in just a little bit thin, it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, with Mark's rotation on the right side there. If you're a little thin, that ball will bury behind. Obviously, spares are huge now. Make sure every pin, because pinfall is looking like it's going to become a thing.
Oh, and he misses to the left.
All right. Still keep pinfall here. This is where we're going to see, we mentioned earlier match, a little bit of moxie, see how deep down these guys are going to dig and make sure, right?
And just Johnny's going to need to draw on that experience to not get tight in those last 2 frames. He still has some wiggle room there.
Yep.
But it's just going to be a matter of going back to that good feel of that frames 3, 4, and 5, finding that roll again. Parker looking to jump on frame 8 and tie this back up.
Not expecting anything different here for Parker. It's going to be on the middle. He's just hoping he has the right rotation in the right spot here. Yeah.
And he does.
Great ball.
Watching Parker in the last couple of years, his game has become deadly accurate. He does not miss the middle very often. He does not miss a lot of spares.
No. The only thing I've seen him really run into problem is this that good old middle pin not being your friend.
Sometimes getting a little too accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, and now he's thinking, hey, I can climb back into pinfall here. Let's put the pressure back on Mr. Johnstone.
Both of them sitting at $200.
Oh.
Throws another one. Forcing Mark to get the strike in 9 to get a carryover into 10.
Yeah.
If frame 9 becomes a carryover, whoever wins 10 wins.
Decides everything. There we go. So if any frame is the one, this is the one you gotta
This is
throw.
the one you want to win.
Yep.
With that double, Parker actually takes a little bit of an advantage in pinfall as well.
Yep. Touch. No. Slow, quick. Miss to the right. Unfortunately, I think Mark understands where he's at in this match now.
So Parker's going to take frame 9. That puts him up 5 frames to 4. Johnny can still force the tie 5-5 if he wins frame 10. And pinfall's not out of reach.
No.
The 10th frame, we've seen it before. Anything can happen.
Yeah, Mark's looking to...
But a spare here is going to be big.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So now put up a big 10, and you never know what happens, right? Never know what happens. Just force Parker to throw a mark.
And just misses to the right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's just a little wild these last 5 frames.
Yeah. 246 is what he's going to max out at.
Great shot. That one looked way better.
Yeah.
He was solid at the line.
Really smooth delivery on that shot.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously Mark's going to be disappointed in this.
Putting a cap on it in 10, though, you're still getting 30. You still have potential to win the frame, which will tie it up. And with a 246, anything can happen with pinfall.
Never know, yep.
Head pin on the last shot. So he put up 20 in the 10th frame. 236 total.
All right. So Parker obviously looking more than 20 here to lock up the frame. Take the carryover.
This first shot will be big. Both these players, tons of talent, tons of ability to be able to read the situation and throw the shot when they need to.
Yeah, so that pretty much all but secure it. Even if Parker doesn't do well here in the end, he's already secured pinfall.
Right. But that strike there will seal the deal. Parker will win 6 frames to 4.
6 frames to 4. Mark Johnstone going home with $200 in his pocket, and Parker moving on to the next round with $400 in.
Parker's going to be looking to play Brandon Mansell in the next round.
Perfect. All right, great match for these guys, and yeah, we'll see you in the next match.
All right. We had a tight match there coming down to the 10th frame once again. Parker taking it home 6-4, beating Mark Johnstone. Parker, obviously phenomenal season, Regina Classic, and now he's moving into the round of 8.
That's right. He just was so solid throughout the whole game. Didn't quite get all the strikes, but he was making all of his spares and put in some pressure on Johnny, who unfortunately just kind of got a little bit tight and wasn't able to get out of that first round.
Yeah, and then Parker finishing it with big strikes, so great for them.
In our next match, we are going to see our number 5 qualifier, Tim Wiseman, taking a look at number 1, Tyler Tickett.